Heyo Gaming Grillers, it's your boy Mr. B. Did you like it? Did you like the new intro? I fucking loved it. Took me ages to do that. I know there's more professional people out there that could probably do a better job, but for me, that's awesome. Anyway, we're not here about an intro. We're here about The Division 2 and whether or not this game is worth your attention. Because like a lot of my friends, especially some of my friends in the clan, lags and glitches, shout out boys, shout out, and ahhing on whether or not they should buy it. Well, what I've done is I've done a shit ton of research to see exactly what's in this game at launch, day dot. So without any further ado and all the bullshit to one side, let's get into this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is gameplay, and I've split this into two parts. Levels 0 to 30, and then 30 plus, which is invariably endgame. I think anyone can understand that. The Division 2 is set 7 months after the Division 1. And of course it's set in Washington DC, nothing like a bit of American patriotism there, is there? So, from what I've gathered, the map size is roughly 20% bigger than the one we got with New York in Division 1, and it's actually built to a 1-on-1 ratio using Google Maps of all things, so we'll probably find someone shagging in the back alley somewhere knowing Google Maps. There is one main hub being the White House and a shitload of settlements, all to be upgraded. So for all you OCD nerds out there, I know one in particular, that is going to have a lot of work to do to 100% get all your hub to to 100% and get all your settlements to 100% as well. So there's a lot of work to do there. Grind, I don't know. How long it takes, I don't know. However, I can imagine it's going to take quite a bit of time. Speaking of time, Massive reported that the story length is roughly 40 hours long. So we know that means 30 hours. Not a bad chunk of story there. On another plus note, there has been some serious changes to the AI. They're not as dumb as they used to be. They're not the sort of sit in one corner and rush and hope for the best. And there's been a lot of changes to the TTK as well. The reds are super squishy, whereas the purple bars and the yellow bars take a little bit longer to drop because you've got to get rid of the armor first. This is a big step forward because, as you all remember in Division 1, and it put a lot of people off, the ads just felt like bullet sponges, whereas these, there's an actual reason why they're taking a little bit more time to kill. It's purely because they've got armor. Stick a shitload of armor on me, it's going to take you a while to put me down, and that's what they base it on. At the end of the day, it is a looter shooter in the same sort of genre as Destiny, so you've got to expect a little bit of bullet sponginess. It's not a realistic simulator, so the fact that they've explained it away that way at least makes it feel a little bit better and adds to the immersion, so for me that's a good plus point. And last but not least, another thing included in your 0 to 30 experience is the PvP. There is a 4v4 proper PvP available with matchmaking based on character levels, which is good. If you get bored of the grind and you want to change it up, I'll have the Crucible. Just go into there, 4v4, team base, smash them up, jobs, or get smashed in my case, jobs are good. So the actual game from 0 to 30, so far, it's not seeming too bad, but here's the thing. Everybody knows in this type of genre, it's what happens at level 30, it's endgame. We've all said it with Destiny 1, in some cases Destiny 2, the game starts when the story finishes. So what have we got when the story finishes? The first thing we get is a massive upgrade to the enemy AIs. The map gets infiltrated and invaded by a crew called the Black Tusk. No, that is not a spoiler, it's out everywhere. Before you say it, shut it, it's not a spoiler. So, the Black Tusk invade, and they bring a shit ton of toys with them. We're talking robotic dogs, drones, explosives, tactical awareness. These are seriously tough competitors. To give you an idea, when I'm playing the open beta and they give us a do with the specializations, which I'll touch on in a minute, I got downed at one point, and to finish me, you know, in PvP in Division 1 where you got down and they could just run up and smack you with a rifle to finish you off, the AI actually did that. They all bunched up and made a group effort to get to me to stop me being revived. That is AI tactics at its best. Now for me that's a massive plus point because it adds, it adds some squeaky bum times in there when you like clutch moments, and that you can't ask for more. So there's a massive upgrade to the AI and the enemies. On top of that, you've also got strongholds in place. A couple of weeks after the drop of the game, they're going to be introducing Tidal Basin, which is the big stronghold which takes you to the next step in the world tiers. The world tier system being the 1 to 5 tier system that they brought from Division 1, which every time you go up in the tier system it gets significantly harder. Tidal Basin is a stronghold, a bit, think of it like a Nightfall, if you will, but a lot, it turned up to 11. It's supposed to be significantly harder. Obviously, I don't know if it is going to be harder. I've never played it, but from everything I'm reading and from all the information that I'm gathering, it's supposed to be you need a team to do it. Then we get something mega. The 8-man raids, they're dropping as well. I've experienced 6-man raids, but I've never experienced an 8-man raid, and I can't wait to see it. Hopefully I'll be dragging a few of my boys and girls from the Lags and Glitches clan in with me to watch me get bitch slapped all over the place, but still, it's an 8-man raid sounds awesome. On top of that, on top of those two things, you've also got a lot of the map to get control of again because you've been invaded. So there is a lot of content pushed in from once you hit 30, and it is clear to see that the game really starts at that point. To emphasize that, there are once you hit level 30, there are 3 specializations to master. One is your 50 cal sniper, another one is a grenade launcher, the next one is a crossbow stroke trapper. These are specializations to be thought of in the same way as supers in Destiny, but not supers as in I'm going to cast a magical spell. This is more of a gun that you use as your super, or weapon as you use as your super. You get access to these, and as you use them, you level them up, and the good thing is you can swap them out on the fly as well. And then on top of all that, there's the 3 massive narrative, PvP and everything else drops which is coming out through the year, all included in the price of admission. In your original cost, you can spend a bit extra on a season pass which gives you access to them 7 days early, but really, what's the point? Are you that vain that you have to have them 7 days early? I'm personally not, but if you are, more power to you. So that's what you get in the plus 30 stuff, but there's still more to talk about. What about Dark Zones? Now, for me personally, the one thing that put me off Division 1 was the Dark Zones. They were hell on earth. I avoided them at all cost. It was pointless going in because you just get bitch slapped by some twat with some healing stuff that you couldn't kill, and it was a pain in the arse. All changed now though. I can't wait for this. So what they've done with the dark zones is that they've put in a matchmaking system that matches people in your instance to your gear level. Secondly, obviously there's none of this healing malarkey, like with the supers and all that made practically everyone invincible. No, it's all more skill based now, and which means the PvP interactions are going to be a lot fairer. On top of that, there's also a 3-stage rogue system, which again makes the environment a lot more fairer. This time, however, there's 3 dark zones, not 1, there's 3. And all 3 of them vary in different styles, different feels, and vary in how you would approach them as far as combat's concerned. One's a lot more open, meaning you need more long range combat. One's very tight street corners, which melee will come into it and all that sort of thing. So yeah, the dark zones have been really tweaked to deal with all the problems from Division 1, and although I've not been in one yet, fingers crossed, I think they've hit the nail on the head with these. I think they've got it just right this time. For those that want a more hardcore experience, however, there is also occupied dark zones. Now, these are for people who have no brains and balls the size of bowling balls, because in these instances, whereas normally your gear is normalized so nobody has an advantage, in the hardcore ones your gear is not normalized. And obviously the AI is a lot tougher and it's just meant to be hell on earth. However, high risk, high reward, all the best loot's in there. So you get a crew together, grab some Vaseline and hope for the best. Just get in there and do your job. You'll get some decent loot out of it. So that's the dark zones covered. Is there anything else to talk about? Well, believe it or not, yes there is. There's the loot. It's a looter shooter, for God's sake. What about the bloody loot? Well, I'm here to tell you that the loot is as good as ever. There's obviously a massive amount of guns, all with different traits. And the most impressive thing that I found, especially in the betas, that I had 2 different types of assault rifles and they both felt completely different. They both had different recoil patterns, they both had different sounds, they both felt fantastic. Same as the DMRs, same with the shotguns as well. All felt fantastic. Now, the beauty of them is all the gear, although I haven't seen a lot in the way of aesthetic customization, there is a hell of a lot of stat customization. Now, this means there is a lot of play for some seriously unique and OP builds. But the main thing is that the character builds can be vastly different because of how all the gear stacks up. There is a ton of different, there were one piece of arm that I saw and it had 10 different traits on it. There was literally, the amount of combinations you can make from this gear is infinitesimal. And that to me can only spell good things, really good things. I don't think you would ever get bored from the loot in this game, ever. But I have to say, I haven't seen the variations in gear customizations. You remember what I mean by that, in Division 1, you had bobble hats, you had coats, you had trousers, and nothing looked particularly outstanding. It might be the same case here, and if it is, it is. I can brush over that personally, but if you want to run around in a pink Mr. Blobby suit, I don't think that's going to be possible. Why you'd want to anyway. So the last thing to talk about, of course, the big thing for me, and this is a big thing for me personally, is there is a new clan system put in place in the Division 2. It's a 50-member clan system, which comes with the clan HQ, invoice, clan chat, clan vendor, clan task, clan base XP. You can level up your clan from 0 to 30, which when it hits 30 you get access to all the best loot and the best vendors, and it's bloody awesome. That's what we want. It's a proper clan system. Now all I have to do now is convince my boys and girls in lags and glitches to pull the thumb out and buy Division 2. I'll just take a deep breath. So yeah, look, that's everything. I am, just to give you an idea of where I'm coming from here, I am the tightest northern gorilla you'll ever meet in your life. You could take out gorilla and add any expletive you want in there. My wife calls me a bastard or whatever. But the straight fact is, when I look at a game, I boil it down to, am I going to get my money's worth? When it came to Anthem, I spent £32.50 on it. I got me money's worth. I traded it back in for 35, so I definitely got me money's worth. In the Division 1, I didn't get my money's worth. Yes, there was plenty of hours played, but most of it was running around streets doing nothing. And I didn't enjoy it. And I really didn't. I enjoyed the gameplay, I enjoyed the fight, and I enjoyed teaming up with my mates. But running around the cold, dank, snow-filled New York was not my idea of fun. This, however, I really do get the sense that Massive, who, let's be fair here, have proven to be an exceptionally responsive developer who do what's needed to make their fan base happy, have done a cracking job with the Division 2. And I, for one, am looking forward to it. Do I think it's going to be worth its pre-order? Do I think it's going to be worth its money on day one? Yes. And I'm putting my neck on the block here. Yes, I do. It's a bold statement, especially with everything us gamers have gone through in the past 6 months. But I truly, truly believe this is going to be the one that turns it round. And I think this is going to be a new day for gaming. So, if you're with me, put a comment below. If you're not, put a comment below. If you want to slag me off, put a comment below. But either way, thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening. That's exactly what I think about the Division 2. If you want to subscribe to my channel and catch more Division content, I've got loads of plans for Division 2 content, and also be live streaming over on Facebook, just Gaming Gorilla UK, the link's in the description below. There's going to be tons of stuff to do. Thank you all for being here. That's all from me, Mr. B. Ta-ta for now.